to Elite Vegan Podcast. I'm Althea Riggin, your host, and today we have a lot of stuff. We're going to be bringing you a lot of information around food, a lot of things we have planned for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's my pleasure doing this for you guys. So, episode 1, here we go. So, what I want to get into, the first thing is basically non-GMO and versus GMO, what that means, and breaking it down for you so my people can understand more about food. All right. So now I'm going to get into GMO versus non-GMOs. Right. GMO abbreviation. What does that mean? Is genetically modified organism, right? So what that means is, simply put, something that was the scientists play around in the labs, try to create something similar to what is from nature. So for example, tomatoes, apples, stuff like seedless grapes, stuff like that, mushrooms, they can make them in the lab and grow them in greens, but they're GMOs. And they can look exactly like what's from nature. So you got to be careful when you go in the store. You got to look for the organic sign and the non-GMO sign. Make sure you look for these two signs, whatever you're buying. If you're buying fruit for your to make your smoothies, this is what you look for. If you're buying rice, if you're buying flour, if you're even eating out of a can, make sure it's non-BPA, organic, and it's non-GMO. If you're buying candy, whatever you're buying, it needs to have these labels on it. Okay. So let's get into the top 10 food to stay away from. Leave them out of your diet if you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. All right. The number 1 thing is corn. Oh my God, corn is the most genetically modified food. Right now they're producing it on a mass basis. If you go into a supermarket, I guarantee you that the first 10 items without the organic and the non-GMO, some of it even have it. So you need to read your ingredients when you're buying. The first 10 items, just go in and pick up the first 10 items. Look at the back of the items or the products, and you're going to see corn syrup. That thing is almost in everything that is processed out there right now. So you need to be careful when you buy, and you need to, just read your ingredients. It takes 1 second to know, say to yourself, what am I putting into my body? That's all you need to say. So I think 94% of the corn out there right now are GMOs. So if you see corn on this side, they're on the left, go to your right. Stay away from them. Really, really not good for your internal system and organs. The second one on the list is soy. Soy is 93% of soy is GMO, genetically modified organism. Okay, I know vegan and vegetarian, we love to use a lot of soy, but we got to be careful. We got to make sure it's non-GMO, and we got to make sure it's organic, because it really damages your system when you eat the stuff that are GMOs. Because sometimes when you get older and you go down the line and say, oh, I'm feeling sick, I have cancer, I have kidney problem, I have this, when you're older. But I've always eaten healthy. That's what you're saying to yourself. But what you don't know is you're not. If you go into a store and you buy like beans in a can, but it's not BPA free, or it's not um, non-GMO, it's not organic. It's beans, but it's GMO beans. So it still affects your internal organs, your internal system. It basically, sometimes you won't see that you're hurting your system right away, but when you go down the line, you'll see that you're hurting your system. Sometimes it shows. Sometimes when you eat a lot of stuff and then you start putting on weight, you're eating vegetable and you're putting on weight, it's the hormones that they put in the stuff. It's not naturally weight gain from eating healthy. It's hormones, bad weight, bad fat that you're putting in your system. Okay? So just look out for the non-GMO and try to get organic stuff when you go to the store. Where are we? Number 3 on the list, we have dairy. I know it's a vegan show, but the show is to help the world. Okay? We want to inform and we want to help the world be healthier and be well and stay well. So I'm touching on dairy because there's a lot of hormones and GMO stuff in dairy. The feed that they give to the cows it has a lot of GMO. The feed that they give to the chicken, a lot of GMO. They also have right now fish. Some people think fish, they're healthy. They have fish farms where they feed the fish. They grow or raise fish. I don't know, I'm a vegan. I don't know what the word to use with that. Whether grow or raise their fish, they feed it a lot of GMO stuff, a lot of hormones to make it bigger and I guess fatter, so that they can sell more. That's one of the things, and they can grow faster. So you gotta be careful when you go. Make sure your stuff is organic and it's non-GMO. Okay, even fish, it is what it is. You just gotta know your information and be careful, right? A lot of GMO stuff. So when you go into the store, when you're walking in sometimes I walk to the meat aisle and I see some chicken. They're like this big, just the leg is like this big, and I'm like, you just know it's a lab. There's no chicken from natural, that's gonna be that big. I've never in my lifetime seen a natural chicken that big. So just be careful when you go in the store and look out for the non-GMO stuff. That's the stuff that you should purchase, and try to get organic, healthy stuff. Okay. So we're gonna jump to number 4. As I was touching on the meat, they're number 4. Okay. So the meat has a lot of hormone. The cows, the fish that they farm raise fish, the chicken, they feed them a lot of GMO stuff. So be aware. Try to get organic chicken if you have to eat chicken and you're not a vegan as yet. Just try to be aware and get those stuff. And I recommend that you watch on YouTube or Netflix What the Health. It has a lot of information that you need to know about meat. Okay, you definitely need to know this about meat. So check out that video on YouTube, or I think it's also on Netflix. Has a lot of information about meat and what you need to know before you continue to eat meat. Yeah, so try to get grass-fed organic beef or organic chicken if you have to purchase those items in store. So we're at number 6, I think. Yeah, we're at number 6. Canola oil, that's number 6. That's just lab. Scientists put that together, and they're great at their jobs, but it's just not good for you. It's not good for your internal system. So for oil, I would recommend you use olive oil. Coconut oil would be my number 1 recommendation. Grapeseed oil, make sure it's non-GMO and organic. That's if you have to absolutely use oil to cook your meals. Those three would be the recommended ones. And number 7, we have honey. Honey is like is in high demand right now. So they're producing it on a mass scale. So right now you hear some story, they're short of bee. There's not enough bee to produce the demand that honey, the demand of honey right now. So what they're doing, they're feeding the bees a lot of GMO feed so that they can produce faster and produce in a mass quantity quicker. Put it that way. So when you buy honey and you go into the store, make sure that your honey is non-GMO. You will see unfiltered, untouched, non-GMO organic honey. That's the one you buy, meaning there's no chemical, there's no GMO, there's no nothing. Sometimes you go in the store and you see some honey, it's just a honey. So just be careful, they're fake honey. I tell you, they also can make fake honey. After the bee produces it, after they feed them a lot of GMO stuff and then they produce it, they go into their lab and they do some additional stuff to it to make it, it's just fake. Fake, fake, fake. So remember to look out for unfiltered, untouched, raw, non-GMO organic honey. That's the best honey to go if you have to use honey in your diet. Another thing that I can recommend is agave. It's not animal based and it's just plant based. So that's a good if you want to make a change. That's a good suggestion. Number 8 would be sugar. Now I know, very addictive, and sugar is in everything. Everything processed has sugar. I know, but you can manage the intake to your system, okay? And for sugar, when you buy sugar, you make sure it's the cane sugar, right? Non-GMO organic cane sugar, because cane is a natural fruit that you get from nature, something from nature. So if you absolutely have to get sugar, make sure it's organic and it's non-GMO and it's cane sugar. That would be my best recommendation, because sugar, most of it comes from the lab with a lot of modification from scientists. It's in our sweets, it's in a lot of snacks, it's almost in everything. So if you want to cut sugar from your diet, to help your cleanse and improve your internal system, that's something I would recommend, But if you absolutely have to have your sugar, just monitor the amount that you take and use something from nature, which would be cane sugar, non-GMO organic ones, okay? Next in line would be zucchini and yellow squash. Those are from the labs. Those are GMOs. Those are not from nature. So I would, if they're on the right, I would send you on the left. Don't touch those when you go in the stores. Not good for your intake. So now we're going to move to number 10, apples and tomatoes. These are two of the most easiest fruit and vegetable that can be reproduced the non-GMO way. So scientists have developed something that they can do to produce these two items. So you have apples, you have seedless apples right now, and you have tomatoes. So when you go in the store, this is very important. Right here, very important tip. When you go into a store, there's a tag on the the fruit or the vegetable with a number, right? You have some numbers starting with 5, you have some starting with 4. The organic numbers starts with 9. So if you don't see an organic sign, you can use the sticker on the product. And once it started with 9, it's an organic fruit or vegetable. Okay? And by law, by the food law, BPA, FDA, sorry, food law, a store or a supermarket cannot put an item out saying it organic and it's not, and they can't put the number on it if it's not organic. So make sure the number starts with a 9. Once it starts with a 9, it's an organic item. Okay? So tomatoes, apples, mushrooms, most of those are GMOs. They are modified in a lab and grow in a greenhouse. So you just got to be careful of those. 11, I know I said top 10, but I just have to give you this information about seedless items. Have you ever gone in a store and when you go into the vegetable aisle, you see seedless grape, you see seedless melon, you know, stuff like that. There's nothing that's natural and from nature and from God that is seedless. So you automatically know once you see seedless, it's a GMO product, it's modified, you know. So just stay away from those. Try to buy your item organic, non-GMO. Okay? Yeah, so that's the top 10 item. Just be careful when you go in the stores. Look out for the those stuff. If they're on the right, please go far away on the left. They're so bad for your internal system. And I hope this was helpful to you. Okay, that's all I have for you today, guys. That's our first episode. It was an exciting one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Elite Vegan, the YouTube channel, Elite Vegan podcast, our first episode. We are growing, we are getting bigger. Thank you so much for support. Remember, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the show.